Hey guys, welcome. Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to our Friday adult beverage night. Thanks for coming in, and let me just set up here as usual. Wow, kelp is early tonight. Shocking. Shocking, kelp is early. Mama Goo. Tim Bear. Hello, Tim Bear. Okay, so hold on. Let me set up all the devices here as usual. Always takes a couple minutes to set this up. Harry Monk. Hello. Okay, so there we go. The abuse begins. That's up to you. Hey, hello, JD Rocks Z7. Needs join. Hello, Needs. Okay, so what the heck here? Oh, I was confused. I saw an ad and I thought it was an ad on Periscope. There was an ad on YouTube. Hello, Harry Monk. Okay, so scroll up song request for later. No. I try to avoid music on my scopes because YouTube will. You couldn't say hello. It was a critique of my time of arrival. Hello, Kelp. Hello, Kelp. How are you, Kelp? Kelp is being very sensitive tonight. Kelp is very sensitive tonight. Super K. Hello, Super K. Actually, as you all know, you gotta talk on YouTube for me to pay attention. Otherwise, you're just some guy talking on Periscope. Friday night, time for open zucking, whatever. I waited for this show. It's hard going without these shows. Kelp, yeah, I was gonna go do an announcement, which you're not gonna like. I'm going to do an announcement which you don't like. Yes, so part of tonight will be an announcement. So, hello, Emerald City Music. I mean, is it music? Mystic, sorry. Why did I get confused with your name tonight? You can't even play a song on a piano. I have to play like originals. I have to play like originals, so I have to make sure that whatever I play is something I just made up. Somebody will say that that's a song I pulled from some pop song, and which one it could have come from. Uh, I can't imagine what they would be guessing since I just made it up right this moment. So yeah, I just made it up. So right before the broadcast, I just said, let me just see what I can come up with here, so they don't demonetize me and say, "Oh, you stole that music." But when you've had a few adult beverages, then the timing is off. So, hello guys. I wonder if there's a way to test what works up against YouTube AI. Would be very interested to know what they think my made up stuff sounds like. How many drinks did you have? I don't know. Not much. Half a bottle of wine, I guess. Something like that. Half a bottle of wine. So yes. There's an announcement from me tonight, and the announcement. Hello, Livendi. Who am I missing here? I want to make sure I say hello to my friends. So I saw Tim Bear, Great Gold, uh, Twist Mint, Entire Meyer, AMG, Storm Media Brothers, and of course Deanna here, Mad Cow. Welcome, guys. Greetings, Lavendi. Greetings. So the I don't know. Have you guys noticed how many times has Ron Waxman been scoping? Do you know how many times Ron Waxman has been scoping? I've checked his schedule, and he only scopes like once a month. Once a month. So I don't see much there beyond once a month. Haven't noticed? It's Zuckin Friday. He was busy. Once a month he's been scoping. Hello, Maui. So yeah, that's very interesting. It's open. Hello, Dr. Allcom. How are you doing? He was sort of what? Hello, Lenny PR. Are we going to talk in DMR at Lenny PR? Maybe they've increased the standards. What the zuck does that zucking mean? Anyway, the announcement. The announcement is that yes, I will. I will definitely not scope as often as I have. I'm going to cut down. Periscope. I saw that he shares out young girl scopes. Yeah, so I will not be. Congrats for general license. Thank you, Lenny PR. How do you know I got my general license? How do you know I got my general license? Did you check out the records and say, "Oh yeah, he got his general license"? I don't think it's even posted yet. I think it takes them till like maybe Tuesday before I see it. So right now I have to say /AG. I have to say call sign /AG until Tuesday, whenever, well, not everywhere, but if I have to do HF or something, I have to do to do /AG. So he told us, you told us, yes. So yeah, but I didn't tell Lenny PR. How did he know? No, I saw the unboxing of your new rig. How do you know that I have a general license just from the rig? Come on, Lenny PR. Damn, one less scoper of substance. Oh, well, I refuse to go to YouTube for reasons obvious. I don't know what the obvious reason is, Kelp. Can you enlighten me on the obvious reason? I'm going to tell you the truth. It hasn't been productive for me to be spending hours and hours on YouTube, but it's been very productive for me to make videos on YouTube. I released 3 videos this week, 3. And I can keep up a schedule of releasing 3 or 4 videos a week, and do it on YouTube. If I have to do that, then I can't. Normally, when I do the live broadcast, I can only release 1 video a week. But to do 4 videos a week requires so much research and time. I have to make sure that whatever I do as far as the videos, is something that's going to last for a while. It's not something that's just, spur of the moment without thought. I have to actually think about it. I have to script it. I have to write it. I have to produce it. I have to then record it and then edit it. And that takes, typically a video takes about a day, day and a half to make. So it takes a very, very long amount of time to make, and not counting the research involved. And and I discovered that I have a lot to do as far as research and setting things up, and I can explain it better on the video. For example, one of the latest videos, if you haven't seen it, is how a VPN works. When I'm here talking about it, all I can do is talk about. I'm just a talking head saying to you, oh yeah, this is how VPN works. But when I do a video, then I can actually show you how it's encrypted. I can show you real examples. Good for you. I think it's great that you do that. I guess Special K needs his special platform. What's his special platform? you need a platform for trolling. Is that what it is? You need a troll platform. So so anyway, if you understand what I'm trying, I ask people's input on this, and so basically, I'm going to increase the videos. I'm going to increase the videos and do more videos, and I'm trying to maintain the quality. Hello, voice for silent. Periscope needs me troll. I'm a little more than that. You're a little bit more than a troll. What are you if you're more than a troll? So what do you think about this? Does that upset you? I want to know what people think. And live streams are not generating a lot of business for me, and I mean business in a colloquial sense. I don't. Hello, voice for silent. Business for me means that I don't have a lot of new people coming in. My base is not growing on Periscope for obvious reasons because of the changes on Periscope and the changes in the platform and the fact that I don't do what do you call this? Call-ins and all that. It's just not good for me time-wise. So, and I find that I'm able to communicate a little bit better if I show you the video. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to cut out live streaming. I'm just going to reduce it. So, but I'm going to reduce it substantially. I'm thinking, and I'm not certain about this yet. Depends on the week. I'm thinking of reducing it to 2 times a week. So that's my intent right now. You will still be live on YouTube? No. I'm thinking live stream will be twice a week. So and then the rest will be making guys making the videos is full time, and I made 3 videos that took a whole week to make 3 videos. So yeah, and I still have a backlog of things I have a sailing video. I have a music video. There are many things I still have to do that I haven't done. And I just don't have time if I have to do live streaming. Live streaming, folks, it's not a minor thing. You think I just come here and turn on the computer. Kelp thinks I just do that. I just turn on the computer, turn on the camera, and then I'm live, and then that's all. But, in order for me to come here live, I have to prepare for it. I have to set things up. There's the time before and after to set things up. Typically, a live stream is a 4-hour activity. 4 hours. That's, half a day just spent on the live streaming. I still think you should do a man on the street video where you go to coffee stores and reveal people their lack of security. I don't know if people will like that. It takes also makeup, lighting, sketch, and all that stuff. Really, Lenny? I don't have to do that. I don't do makeup. I just, have all the lighting and all that here. Everyone will adjust. It will suck at first. Well, seems more reasonable. Yeah. So let me tell you what I'm thinking, and you guys gave me input on this. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm getting new subscribers because of the videos. I am not getting a lot of subscribers doing Periscope. It's not happening here. Okay? I need 10 of you, all for more quality. I am not getting subscribers from. If I stop Periscope today, it's not going to have any impact on my subscription count. If I slow down the videos, then I'm going to have a reduction in subscribers on YouTube. So it's very, very significant effect. So I'm not getting a single subscriber from a live stream. Not one. And yet I get, I don't know, I got, this last week, I got probably 40 subscribers just from people watching the videos. So based on that, I mean, I got to use my time wisely here. Seems like you got your answer was nice while you were here. I'm not moving anywhere, Kelp. I'm just saying I'm just going to reduce it. So I think I'll stick to Friday night. I don't think I'll cut out Friday night because it's fun. I just clicked on a YouTube ad on the channel. Is that a bad thing, Stoic? Stick to what? What are you saying, Jay? Periscope has been a rude, selfish community. Don't want to help anyone. Yeah. So yes. There you go, entire Meyer. I'm going to give you more content. I'm going to give you more content, not less content, more content. Okay. I'm going to give you more, but I'm going to do it more in video style. But I still need the way we have interaction here. Is there a past video talking about 5G? Yes, Lenny PR. It's called "Will 5G Kill Us?" That is the video. You haven't watched that. I have so many videos. I have 240 videos, 248 videos up on YouTube. And most of those are live stream. So I just want to the live streams do not help me. They help the hours. It helped me get up to the hours. But I spent $509 today to get a laptop fixed. Zuck, just buy a new laptop, Jay. For $509, you can buy a Lenovo. What the zuck's wrong with you? Why would you pay $509 for a zucking laptop? I said that. You said what? You should have just bought a zucking new laptop. It's a Mac. So what? MacBook Pro suck, especially old ones. I should, but Lenovo is actually pretty good. 2100? No, you can buy a very fancy one for $799, and you can buy less fancy one for $499, and it's faster than your MacBook Pro. I heard that iTunes is going to be leaving from the market of streaming services. I'm also getting the new keyboard. Oh, you're going to be zucked. Okay, so yes. Mine is 2100. Yes, if it's a MacBook Pro, it is going to be 2100, and they will zuck you. So I decided that I'm not. By the way, it's just going to be free chat. We'll talk about tech of any sort. So yes, Jay, that is why I do not buy a MacBook Pro. I have a MacBook Pro. I have not upgraded it. And I said, I don't feel like I want to upgrade my MacBook Pro. I want to see what they come up with. And then I looked at it and I said, it sucks. I buy a computer every year. So I said, that sucks. So I went with a HP Spectre 360, my second one. So this is my second one. It's, very nicely built. It's kind of built, like what I would expect a MacBook Pro to be built. But this is better. It's faster. It's better. So, every year I look and see. I don't really care what the model is. I don't care if it's Mac or PC. I just look and see, is it better this year? If it's better, I use it. So my MacBook Pro is 2014, I think, and I didn't buy a new one since then. So my MacBook Pro is still from 2014, and I haven't, for many years now, I have Lenovo's, I have HP's for the last few years. I used to buy a lot of Dell back in the day. They really sucked up the MacBook. Yes. And all that, that bar, the the touch bar on top, useless. Incorrect, Lenny PR. I went to Mac. I had a lot of Macs. There's a lot of Macs in this house. And then I stopped. Okay, then I stopped, and I don't have any more Macs now. So There's still a lot of Macs here, but there are no new Macs. The newest Mac is my MacBook Pro. Early 2014 was the best design. It's been zucked ever since. That's correct, LG Knight. I wish I'd got the one without the bar. Yes, the bar zucks. Why are you not watching me on YouTube, Jay? Invest in the future. Why are you not watching me on YouTube, Jay? So yes, yes, that's my feeling. Is I looked at, first of all, it's so expensive for so little power. Invest in the future. And there's so little power, and so why am I getting this when I got a faster processor with a HP, and everything's nicer. So custom build PC, don't buy name brand. Why? Why Great Gold? Why do I need to spend that kind of money? So I looked, and it's not perfect, but it does the job, and it's much better than my MacBook Pro. On unopened 2014 models between $2,000 and $6,000, you can keep it. It's very slow. An unopened 2014 MacBook Pro is very slow. So yes, touch bar is touch bar is crap for sure. So bad design. First of all, because there's no tactile kind of response, it reminds me. I'm going to tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a Prius. Anybody drive a Prius? I just liked you. Gamers require more memory, better graphics. On the tube from my new TV. I heard iPhone's collecting everything I do and say online. Oh my gosh, Tony, what a shock. Tony's shocked. I've had lots of headaches with the service of HP printers on tech support. Who fucking cares about HP printers? I'm just talking about an HP X360. Felicia that asked me to register my voice in a gadget he had. Zoc. I have driven one but did not buy. So look at the Prius. Okay, Prius is all screen. I guess I would guess the Tesla may be similar here. But they have this big screen, and there's no tactile kind of feedback when you touch. So when you're driving, you don't have time to do that. You got to do a little bit of feeling to know where the buttons are. If the menu keeps changing while you're driving, that sucks. That's bad UI design because you're driving. He said, my voice is registered with Amazon. Zuck, Felicia. You in my 65 TV. OMG, that's dangerous. I only thought it was Facebook and iPhone secretly collecting everything. I was muted for saying Pepsi and quickly unmuted, being a first timer to them. What does that mean? Okay, so the touch bar is the same logic as the Prius. Touch bar, same logic. I'm thinking about buying a Prius, but I'm hesitant because of that menu. You're like trying to turn up the heat, and you have to go punch a bunch of menus to get to the heat. It's like, zuck, do I really want that? Do I really want to press a lot of menu options with, the ascending and descending menus when I just want to put heat on when you're zucking driving? Some of this is like illogical UI, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm because I want an electric car. I heard iPhone's doing away with 3D touch on their. That is, I heard iPhone is doing away with 3D touch or face recognition. They no longer do 3D touch. What are you talking about? The UI. Do you recommend better the laptops to Microsoft better than MacBook Pro? Lenny PR. At the moment, I recommend a HP Spectre X360 or a Dell. Maybe I can make a video of that. Or a Dell XPS. Although the Dell XPS is the camera at the bottom, but it's a little faster. The problem with it is it's very nice design though. Otherwise, the problem is just that it's more expensive. Snapchat is a prime example. They changed their UI, lost a ton of users. Hello, Sila Sizkuet. Okay, so yeah, so that's my. I heard Mac can't get a virus. It's, get a HP XP Spectre X360 and load Linux on it. Then you won't get a virus either. So I don't get any viruses. Why is it that I don't get any viruses? Can you just explain that to me? I download Braxme, but it does work slow. So okay, it's slower than WhatsApp. Okay, unfortunately, I don't have time to go rewrite it to go as fast as WhatsApp because I don't have 10 million programmers. So, but it's going to be more secure, and it runs also as a website. So it's the same interface, whether you run it as a website or an app. So your airports have my iris, Amazon has my voice. What next? Felicia. Uh, I don't know. Maybe your junk will be on the internet too. It's because that runs on the Linux code rather than Unix. Try using it on a browser. I don't know, Sila Siskuet. I can't really tell you. It works fine for me. I don't know what your expectations are. I use it every day, and it works fine for me. And it is sensitive to the internet because it's a cloud-based thing. So if your internet is slow, it'll be slow. I thought you were a good Christian, Felicia. I thought you were a good. What does that have to do with that? I'm just telling you what you asked me what they will take of you, and I'm just saying. So what does that have to do with anything, Felicia? Um, I need a Tesla. So do I, but the Tesla will track me. But maybe Tesla's better than somebody using Waymo. So what if you buy a self-driving car and it's running from Google Waymo? For kicks, I use airport Wi-Fi with no firewall in airports. Firewall's not going to do anything for you, Tony. You need a VPN, not a firewall. what's the firewall going to do? Kushi said, my junk is on the internet. I said your junk will be collected on the internet because that's what they do. So that has nothing to do with anything. It's just the reality. Somebody will collect it. Yes. If you put it on WhatsApp, Big Brother is watching us more closely every year, and now more with hundreds of satellites up. I don't know if the satellites have to do with anything. It has to do with social media. I tend to. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I use less social media. I don't do much. As you know, I've been on ham radio kick lately, and so I have so many radios in here. I'm going to show you how many radios I have stacked up in here. This is not all my radios, but these are the radios I brought for you. Let's see here. Okay, this is just the radios that I am showing you today. Okay. That is what I meant, Felicia. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and not counting this. So I have 6 radios right here for you. I have more than that. I have 2 more on the boat. I have a big one with the on the mast, a mast-mounted, deck-mounted radio, and then I have a handheld. And yeah. So what else? Yeah. So that see how many radios I have here. This is a VHF radio. I took one from the boat, so I can test to see if the bow fan can reach this. So I have one from the boat. So there, you can reach me if you're in this area. You can call me on Marine Radio on channel 68. I'm monitoring channel 68 right now. We'll see if I can hear you. If you're around the area, you can see if you can send a signal on channel 68. Then I got 2 FRS radios and 2 ham radios. on the UHF VHF band. And then I have a QRP HF radio that I just bought. So this is brand new. And I don't have it configured yet. So my antenna didn't work. So I have to spend my time making a video about how did I screw up on my antenna, and that'll be part of it. So yeah, Noah's on here. You can reach Noah from here. CQ, Lenny PR, K6 Lenny PR, K6 LPR. Does your wife what? So nobody asked me anything. So anyway, Starlight think a Tesla would surprise you. Hard to beat what? Hard to beat instant torque. I looked at the Tesla, and the small Tesla is only 40 grand. Yeah, 40 grand for the model, the small one. What is the model, the small one? Is it S? So yeah, I like it only, yes, but I can't afford it, so I don't have it. And they don't do leases. Model 3, there you go. See, life of Crawford, just keeping an eye on these Teslas. Yeah, I can't afford one right now. So maybe when I'm popular on YouTube one day, then maybe I can afford one. Right now, I can't afford one. My YouTube chat is repeating the welcome message. My YouTube chat is repeating the welcome message. What is the welcome message? Everyone is so impressed with the torque on those Teslas. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares about what? The price? Everyone is so impressed with the torque. You don't care about the torque? Yeah, the electric car. Nelly Orr had a ham radio. Who's Nelly Orr? So yes, so so anyway, for those of you who missed the announcement is I will live stream less. So I will plan on live streaming only twice a week, and only if there's content to do it. Specifically, if there's no content, then I'd rather make the videos. So I'm going to be busy making videos. Who wins in the U.S.-China? We'll all lose, but I would guess that China would lose more. Do you think Zuck's had an apocalypse bunker to keep zombies away? Yeah, he has a bunker in Hawaii. You look like a Porsche man. Kelp, never had a Porsche in my life. Never had a Porsche in my life. I'm going to say most of my life, except from when I was very young, I've been a Mercedes kind of man. So I'd say mostly Mercedes. I've tried everything out. Lexus, BMW, in the middle. And then back in the SUV days, I had Ford Expedition, Ford Explorers, stuff like that. But mostly it's Benz. Wei Fukan likes the Tesla. He's not allowed in it, but he likes a Tesla. Benz for comfort? No, there's no comfort. But I just like I like the Benz. It's what stands out with your experience with Mercedes? It's classy. It's classy. I don't stand out in the neighborhood. I fit right in. And, I've had every kind of Mercedes, big ones, small ones, medium ones. I like Benz. Wife likes a Tesla. So I have old Benzes, new Benzes. I have two Benzes I have three Benzes right now. One old, very old one, and two new ones. Let's see you in a Chevy. I haven't bought a Chevy in my entire life. So I had a 560 SL 90. Oh, that's a nice one, 1988 too. Yes, I remember that. Yes. I remember the 560 SL 1988. Yes. So my first Mercedes was a 190E 1986. That's the first time I bought a Mercedes in 1986. So, so I had to buy the cheap one. That's all I can afford back then. Haha, this radio reminds me of my dad when he had a CB. I'm looking to electric Benz for the wife in 2020. Yeah, I'm not sure if first of all, there's only one electric Benz right, when I looked, a year ago, and it's zucked so much. It's had an ugly shape, and so I didn't like it. So I said I'm not even going to consider that. And so I don't know. They gotta come up with a better design here, or it's just not going to happen. So now I'm thinking that I need a like to replace my very old Benz. I have a very old Benz, 1990 190e, and it's falling apart. Still runs, but it's it looks ugly, and it's gonna die soon, and I gotta plan on replacing that. So I'm thinking of just getting a Prius. So this is for kids to use. I'm thinking about a Prius, but maybe an e-Golf. An e-Golf is a electric car as well. So I'm thinking about an electric car. Electric car would do great for for use in town, and then I don't have to pay for gas. So that's what I'm thinking. My '66 split window coupe was the biggest mistake selling. When I worked, 40K for a car is pretty cheap. Thank you, Emerald Mystic. Thank you. That is so nice of you. Prius is a hybrid. I know Prius is a hybrid, but they have a plug-in version. What about a Segway? Yeah. How about you pretend your follower hear you on QRP and not miss your interesting topics? The Leaf, I forget the name. The Leaf is Honda, right? I've actually seen people commuting in those things. The Honda Leaf. That's an electric car. Yes. I don't know if I like the styling though. The e-Golf, Toyota doesn't make any electric cars. But the you can run the new Prius Prime as full electric. The hybrid is kind of a backup. Oh, Nissan. Leaf sucks. Not Honda. Leaf is Nissan. Okay. See, what do I know? I don't. Good evening, Della Roach. How are you doing, Della Roach? Yeah, I'm I can't. I should get a Tesla, but I'm only thinking about replacing the cheap car. Full electric for 20 miles. A Golf has 115 miles of electric, but when you turn on the air and the heater and all that, I don't know what's going to happen. How about them hydrogen Hondas? When you won't live to see the damage. Electric cars are the best during an EMP. Well, maybe you need a '70s car for an EMP. Thank you for the super chat. No Tesla. I don't like YHD comfort. You don't like no Tesla. Honda hydrogen is the next technology. I saw the concept. Remember I told you in a scope of a couple of years ago, I said that we're going to have, they promised that we're going to have self-driving cars by 2020. Where the zuck are the self-driving cars? Aside from Tesla, and they don't even call it self-driving. I think they got afraid of the liabilities, so they pulled it back. I hear the comfort is bad, no comparison to a Benz. Then I'll stick to a Benz, we can't. Wrong. What is wrong, M. Leifer? What is wrong? What are you referring to? Are you talking about EMP, M. Leifer? He's making a joke. So, I'm, no electric cars. Well, there's only a new truck self-drive right now on test. I'm only replacing a cheap car, so I just don't want to, I just want to make sure there's a cheap car around, something that can last for a long time. We've had the 1990 Mercedes, 1990 model for a long time, and that's That's like a beat up car. Is it wrong? I have a Ford 350. That's you're kind of like a Ford 350 kind of guy, Kelp. A Prius is a good choice. Well, we can. Does it look? In West LA, driving a Prius is like a statement. You can be a movie star and drive a Prius and say, "I'm making a statement. I'm green. I'm Zucking green." Damn, they're nice and rolling coal is fun. Even the Rav is real nice. Yeah, it uses too much gas. We can uses too much gas. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Uses too much. I mean it's the one that I was surprised about. My brother showed me that he has a Subaru, uh, kind of a small Subaru crossover. So it's like a tiny SUV Subaru, and it looked good. I said, that's nice. That's nice. I wonder how much it cost, but it actually looked good. I'm just thinking, to look cool in LA, you got to be like, be driving a electric car. Then they don't care what the model is as long as it's electric. They're saying, you're sucking green. To save the day, I saved the day. Is it true that Subaru and Volvo are from the same manufacturer owners? I don't know, Lenny PR. My daughter has the hybrid RAV. You probably bought it for her, right, V Fucan? You probably bought it for her. She just got it? You didn't buy it? I help the hospital and locals when they need it. About those preppers. Yeah, haven't even talked about the preppers. So, yes, I'm. No, I did. Of course, we can. I expect that. I expect that. Why don't you tell your kids to work for whatever whatever they get, work for it rather than give it. Why don't you say, why don't you work for it? My neighbors had 3 electric cars. I don't remember what it was called. It looked so small and would get hit because you can't see it. Oh, you're talking about those tiny ones. That's not what I'm looking at. I'm talking about a normal sized car, just electric. So the ones that look good, looks like a normal car, is an e-Golf. I don't like the styling of the Prius, but the e-Golf looks, nice and conservative. But if I'm in LA, they like the Prius here. LA, movie stars. You can drive a Prius here instead of a Mercedes, and they say, oh, cool. Do you own other coins other than Bitcoin? No. I need overseas connections on Brax. There are overseas connections. I will be flying around on a drone. Okay, so we've deviated enough. It's a Friday night. Friday night, my son got a hybrid Kia. It's okay, not too comfortable. Then I won't get that. When I saw the title Peppers, I thought Rob will cook his fried rice with peppered steak. What does that have to do with peppers? Anyway, yes, I as you guys know, I set up a new section on my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is in a fork. There's the usual. Every week I do something related to privacy and so on, cybersecurity. So I just released a video on VPNs, and then on the other side of that, and then of course I did a video on email twice. I did an email on email headers and man in the middle on email. Then I released 2 videos on communication. So one related to the unboxing of this unit here, which is a X5105. Okay, this is an X5105, and this is an HF radio, and it can reach all the bands that all the way down to 3.5 to 1.8 megahertz, which is what ham radio operators use to talk across the world. So if you don't think the Earth is round, where's flat Earth guy? Then this radio, in theory, can go across all over the country, all over the world. The antenna for that rig that you bought, I like it. It's cool. What brand and model is it? The Lenny PR. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what the story is with the antenna in a moment. But I bought this and I did a quick test with the antenna. So here's the antenna that I got. This is from MFJ. So this is an MFJ antenna, and then there's I don't know if you can see that, but you can adjust the coils. There's inductor coils in here, so you can say for each band. So, like I believe for 80 meters like that, 40 meters, on and on and on, 10 meters. Okay, so depending on what you want the wavelength to be, you adjust this, and they give you specs on adjusting this. It's a little complicated because you need a counterpoise. So you have to measure out Lenny PR. You got to measure a counterpoise. So what I have is a metal measuring tape. Then you unravel the tape to whatever your counterpoise would be, and I have alligator clips to clip on it, and it hasn't really been working. And I'm not sure, the SWR looks fine with this. The problem is, I think I'm too close to transmission lines. So there's a transformer right outside my house here. RKB, my son left title in the glove sign saying, free, runs like... So so it's a little complex, because I have to consider now what happens with, of course, when the grid is down, then there won't be any issue with transformers. But with the transformers right in my backyard here, what would happen? So that's something that I got to consider. I have a dipole antenna that I set up outside. And Lenny PR, do you have a dipole? So I have a dipole. It's an inverted dipole, and I'm going to show videos of how I made it. And I don't know why the socket failed. You've considered to plug a low-pass filter for those cable interference? I don't know if there's interference yet. I have to get the SWR down first. I have to... what was that, Rob? You know Hawaii, Thailand, Japan. I just call you. Yes. So anyway, just for those who don't understand what Lenny PR and I are talking about, setting up an HF radio is kind of complex because it's not as simple as UHF. In order to reach those faraway places, you have to have an antenna. So this is running right now, but without the proper antenna, this isn't going to do anything for me. So the antenna is very big. So even to reach, an intermediate range like 40 meters requires the antenna to be 66 feet long. Well, my backyard is not big enough to accommodate 66 feet. Dipole. So, I don't have a place to hang without the neighbors, I don't have a way to do that. So I have it's called an inverted dipole, which is kind of like a V shape like this. And I tried that, and the SWR sucks on it. And I'm going to make a video to show you. I don't know if that's good enough. G5RV is, anyway, this is a full dipole. This should be better than a G5RV. This should be better, but it's and I checked the angle, and the angle is about 90 degrees, and it's kind of tilted back. It's not like straight down. It's like the V is like tilted like this, and the SWR is awful. The SWR is like off the chart, so I got to go figure it out. So I'm gonna do a bunch of changes and move it around, and then test the SWR. This is, for those of you who are understanding what I'm talking about, this device here, this radio, is really extraordinary. This radio here, which is a portable, normally an HF radio is very big and bulky, and you have to set up a shack, a lot of, controls and all that. This is battery operated. Okay, and it is heavy. But it is battery operated, so you don't need anything. Just plug in the antenna and you're set to go. Now, this one has a little chart that shows me how the antenna is doing. So I don't even have to use an antenna meter tuner. because all I have to do is just it charts it actually scans the frequencies and shows you the SWR for every frequency that you're looking at. So tomorrow I'm gonna check and see where the problem is, and then I'm gonna adjust and cut the antenna and do whatever. It's gonna be fun to see, because I want you to see. That's one of the things I'm trying to do here, is show you that I just got my general license, and I'm gonna show you, all, yes, I learned all that in theory, from taking the test, but doing it in a practical sense. I watch every zucking video on, dipoles and all that. It's really complicated. Does it yes, it has an auto antenna tuner, and it can tune, as long as it's a reasonable SWR, it can auto tune it. It's all built into this. That's why one of the reasons I bought this. I don't have to buy an auto tuner. Keep the cost down. Otherwise, I don't want to spend $2,500 on a radio. So this one is $700. So $700 for the radio, and then the rest you have to buy antenna, power supply, all that. So it still goes up there, but it's better than spending $2,500. So with this you can keep your cost down to like $1,500, hopefully. So yeah, so this is $700 with all the frequencies. It's only 5 watts. It's a QRP radio. It's only 5 watts. So this is QRP, Lenny. But when the grid is down. Lenny, do you really want a radio that requires 100 watts? How the zuck are you going to power a 100-watt radio when the grid is down? So my focus is on proper communications. If we have an earthquake in LA, I want to be able to participate in emergency communications and so on, and that's not going to be possible with 100 watts. I mean, what you set up a solar charger and battery just for the radio, not to use in the house. That's a little bit much. This one, you can charge pretty easily, and then you can move around. And I'm actually going to try it out. I'm going to do a lot of tests with this and put it out on the beach, on the boat. I can stand on the beach and see if, hopefully that doesn't get corroded. I'm going to stand on the beach. Bad propagation. I'm going to do NVIS propagation. In FEMA camps, emergency at level happens. They won't allow people to stay in their homes. Easier to aid people. What the Zucker saying, Kelp? So now we're into FEMA camps. So I'm going to try it from the boat, from the beach. Think places where, do you have a crystal radio? Said you'll be let no better needed. Crystal radio said J. Colby doesn't allow you to change the frequency. There's no VFO. So that's not really practical. What if the grid is down? Won't that affect the repeaters? No, Starlight. Most repeaters are solar powered and battery powered with solar backup. At least in LA area, there's most of the repeaters here have, or they even have portable generators. So most repeaters in our area here will survive, electricity loss. So they will run for a long time without electricity. So the VHF bands, which we're talking about here, these bands will survive that. Starlight asked me, what about solar chargers and batteries and all that? Yeah, you see, I got to buy these, Starlight, I got to buy this stuff. So I can't just show it to you. Nobody gives it to me. I'm not famous enough on YouTube where somebody gives me all these little gadgets. So I got to keep buying this, and it's like an investment. I buy it for you, and it's expensive, and hopefully, I'll recover it in the future because of, viewers. But this is to do the HF will cost me around $1,500 to do this setup, and then and I'm trying to keep the antenna cost down by building my own, and hopefully I'll be able to make, if I am able to make, 20, 30, 40 videos just on this, then it will be worth it. So, and I will be able to do that. So I will be able to make many, many videos teaching you how to use this for proper communications, which is low power. I'm going to teach you a new term. For those of you new to ham radio, and the term is QRP. QRP is one of the Q codes that means low power or lower your power. Okay? So why this is important, and for those of you who don't understand why you wouldn't want a 1200 watt transmitter, why would you? Most transmitters are 100 watts. Like you can buy a good transmitter for 100 watts for about $1,200. It's hard to get advertising. So this one, I had to think about it. They always say if you're a newbie in ham radio, don't get the QRP radios because you're not going to get many contacts from a QRP radio. But that is the challenge, because what is the purpose? Why am I buying a 100-watt more expensive radio, which requires auto tuners and all these parts? It's going to cost you the $1,200 is just for the radio. By the time you get all the other side things you got with that, I mean, you're going to be at $2,500. Why do I need that when I can't run it when the power is down? So I said, that doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to focus on what my focus is, which is grid down case. What if there's an EMP? What if there's an earthquake? What if there's a natural disaster? What if there's a storm? What if there's a fire? And, like Paradise, California disappeared, and which they had some way to communicate to get to get rescued, but they don't have any cell signal. How do you know that you're caught? How does somebody know that you're caught in a town in Paradise until after the fire is over? So how are you going to get rescued from there if they don't know where you are? They're not going to risk sending somebody over there. That's the power of radio. And in California, they said, we haven't had an earthquake in 40 years in here, a big one. So it's time to get one. So since it cycles every 40 years, so we may get a big one soon and might as well be ready. What is the longest anyone's gone without communication? Not long. The problem is, Kelp, let me just explain it to you. The problem, the reason I'm teaching you this is, you don't fight a fire in paradise. That's crazy. I mean, there's no way to fight that kind of fire. The problem with Rob's specific topic. See, now I forgot what I was talking about. What was my point? Anyway, I forgot my point. Anyway, so I'm teaching you how to survive with no reliance on the internet, because this is the strange thing about the internet, guy. I'm so upset with the internet, with social media as it is, with all the collection of data. But the other problem with the internet is that if we suddenly all got reliant on a single point of communication, which is the internet. So you cut off the internet, which is pretty easy to do, then you're zucked. Cut off the internet and you're zucked. Now what? Internet is down, power's down. What do you do? And I'm asking all of you a question. What do you do? Are you ready for that? Do you want to learn about what I'm doing here? Discover how I discover things, and see how I'm discovering how to deal with that, and use it for education, and we'll have fun doing it. Okay, so this is one of the journeys. Lock and load is not going to work when you can't talk to anyone. So, I'll fax people then. How are you going to fax without a phone? DJ Murdoch, there's no phone, so how are you going to fax? There's another license for emergency, but you have to take some courses from FEMA. What does that have to do with anything? Lenny PR. So anyway, did you use your emergency skills in Puerto Rico, Lenny PR? Did you use your skills there? When the internet is down, you wait for it to be restored. E.T. Buck, that's your way. My way is when the internet's down, I want to know what's up. So I teach you ways, and this is one. This is the most advanced, and many of you will not graduate to this, but it'll get me viewers who are, existing people who are, struggling with it like I am, and then the rest of you will benefit from using these kinds of radios. Okay? These are ham radios. You need a license for these. And these are 8 watt. These are 8-watt radios with repeaters. I can easily talk to people 100 miles away with this. I talk to people in San Diego all the time with this. So the repeaters are powered by batteries and backup generators and so on. And they're all over the place. They're in my area. They're on all the mountains. I'm surrounded by mountains here. So all the mountains around me have a repeater. And this is really great for an emergency. These things are useless. These are your walkie-talkie radio. You don't need a license for these. You buy them from the store. And, you know, they seem like they're going to be fun, but you know, what's the purpose of a radio that doesn't even cross a quarter mile? I mean, a quarter mile is about the range of this at best. Okay, so quarter mile. By the way, this is a unlicensed band, so I can talk all I want, and I don't have to announce a call sign, because I don't want to do call signs on my broadcast. So I'm using these kinds of radios that are, I like this for demonstration because I don't have to use a call sign. Officially, you have to use a call sign whenever you transmit on any other band. Although some people cheat, they don't announce their call signs on GMRS, and they need to. But everyone on ham radio is very consistent. You'll get reported if you don't use your call sign on ham radio. So we all use that. And for those of you who don't know, yes, I got my general license, and I have and next month I'm going to shoot for my extra license. I might as well go all the way. I've done, I've gone this far. Might as well go get my extra license. So I have my general license, and I passed the test last week. So it's fun to see what I can do. Without the general license, you cannot do this kind of radios. This is an HF radio, and the only way to do this kind of radio transmitting is with the general license, which I now have. So without that, I could not have done this. So this is why I got a general license to do this. I don't need the extra license, but I might just do it to show off. To say, yeah, I could do it. So how many of you, because of me, are saying maybe I need to get a ham license? Raise your hand if you're thinking about getting a ham license because of me. Or not just because of me, but because you thought about it ahead of me. How many people are thinking about getting a ham license? I know there's several of you who are, and I was surprised. I actually thought some of you even bought the radio already. Yes, wow, that's M. Leifer. I'm actually surprised. I know several of you, some of you are actually thinking about it, and it's fun. It's think about it as a hobby. So think about it as a hobby, but the thing about the nice hobby, Eagle Source, of course. Thinking about it as a hobby is fun for now, but in an emergency, it's going to be a really useful hobby. This is a hobby that's just, how many people can, when the grid is down, how many people, it's like having this ready. I want MCOM license, but I have to take online courses. Lenny, the MCOM license, I believe that requires a security clearance. The MCOM license requires a security clearance, if I recall. Whether spotters use ham, right? Lenny PR. So I always wondered, would they give me a security clearance, or would the Zucking BI say, you scope against us, so we're not going to give you a Zucking security clearance? I've always wondered. The scenario for whether it would be beneficial. The scenario for whether it will be beneficial is outdated. So Kelp, are you saying radio is not going to be beneficial? I mean, there are practical examples here, which is Malibu, Paradise. Malibu is not that far away from me. Okay? Malibu's not that far away from me. The power went down in Malibu. They shut down the power because of the fire. Because when there's fire, they shut down the power so it doesn't explode. And they purposely shut down the power, and they purposely shut down the gas. That's something that they do in LA. So when there's going to be a possibility of blowing up transformers and all that, they shut the power intentionally. So then you have no backup. So if somebody like Kelp says, "Oh, there's an emergency. What am I going to do?" And by the way, in Malibu, it was several days of that. I think it was a week. The fire last November. But with EMCOM and support FEMA as a communicator operator. Yes, Lenny PR, but EMCOM, whether you do ENCOM or not, you need a license. You be a licensed ham, and people need concert minder to keep such a hobby alive. Malibu hot tubs. That's the movie. So anyway, for me, this is kind of a fun hobby, but it's kind of nice to know that a hobby has a very, very practical application. If you have radios, you have your defensive weapons, and you have water. I mean, you're starting to be prepared, and this is not necessarily. I don't have to go like full bore prepper type here. I can go moderate prepper. But hey, at least we know that you will be there if all else fails. Kelp, you're out in Northern Virginia, and when the grid goes down, you zucking get help from the three-letter agencies. You're on your zucking own. I'm not going to go help you out in Northern Virginia. This is a very expensive hobby, but it's necessary for... This is not expensive hobby with this. For technician license, all you need is these radios. This is not an expensive hobby. Okay, you can buy these for $25. So come on, this is not an expensive hobby for technician license. It's an expensive hobby for general license. It would be chaos here. More people are helpless. We keep a couple of case of water and just use and rotate. We Fukan is the being somewhat prepper like. So I mean I think that I'm not. What I'm doing is interesting. I don't know if any women are interested in what I do. I'm going to do a little survey here. When I'm doing these gadgets, I presume I'm like turning off the women. Yes or no? Am I being sexist here? Somebody tell me and confirm. If I'm talking about these things, the women think this is not that interesting. They'd rather hear about cybersecurity. I don't need a gun. I got my mother-in-law. That's a little bit of a survey. I'm just wondering if I'm losing followers, from that. They want the dongle. But what about what the zuck? Okay, so anyway, there's something else. I got so much going on. This topic's for everyone who has slight bias. Men love gadgets. I love gadgets. Whoa, Tim Bear love gadgets. Okay, so this is the new one that I actually got running today. Okay, I'm going to tell you what this is. This is nothing more than a Wi-Fi router. Nothing more than a Wi-Fi router. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. This Wi-Fi router, I was talking about doing this, but I actually got the part. I'm ordering a second one. This is a Wi-Fi router. This one is made by Ubiquiti. This is a Ubiquiti NanoStation M5, 5 gigahertz, and it's made to mount. You see that the back there? It's made to mount on a pole, and then they give you Velcro, and it's mounted outdoors. This is an outdoor mounted. There's that cover here. I just took it out because I'm working on it. This is an outdoor mounted Wi-Fi. I got a Cradle Point Wi-Fi router last week. We'll learn about this, Fukan. Now, you can only use this as a ham operator, but what it is that we take this router and we change the frequency on it. You change it to ham frequencies, and you pump up the transmission to 20 zucking watts. Instead of your typical 1 watt router at home, you pump this up to 20 watts. You point it outside, and you can even have a dish antenna with this, so you can reach Mount Wilson over here. And I don't know if I can reach Mount Wilson with this, but I'm going to try. And yes, this is already connected to the mesh network. I already connected it. I had to disconnect it to show you, and I have to mount it in a more permanent location. I'm gonna make two of these. This is a mesh network, and what it is when you mount any number of these. I'm gonna get permission to put it in a location several miles away, and I'm gonna have a mesh connection with it, and this is the most interesting part of ham LG Night, and this can be done with a technician license. This range of band is the technician license. Mesh network, your house that big. This is kelp. This is multi-mile. This can reach 40, 50 miles to the next repeater, to the next device. Okay, so what it does, it gives you your own internet. It's not the regular internet. It gives you a EMCOM, emergency communication network at high speed. You can go 100 and 50 megabits per second, passing video and live video and everything on your private emergency communications router, and connected to all the routers in LA. There's many of these around here, and these are cheap. So this is $77 for this complete. The only thing, they added tax, so around $85 with tax, and that's it. And you're ready with one station. You connect it outside. You can mount it on PVC. So I'm gonna make two portable mounts with PVC on it. I already got this running. This is already running, and you can connect it to your Wi-Fi. You can put a Raspberry Pi as your Wi-Fi connection to this Wi-Fi. What arrangement do you have to make the people to mount that? You mount it on PVC portable. I'm gonna make one. I already have the pipe. Make a 4. Actually, you need a 5 one, and then you mount it on top, and then you Velcro this to the unit. This is PoE, power over Ethernet, and that's the only thing you got to power, and you can power that with batteries. You can do a PoE with 12 volt. And yes, there's a video of somebody that camouflaged this and painted like camo paint, and then powered with the battery, and or you can power it with the solar charger, so you can leave it alone. And this is pretty cool. Now, if you want, let's say there's so many of us with these, you can actually tunnel a network in Northern Virginia to LA using the internet. So when the internet is up, you can cross communicate and make your own private internet. When the internet is down, then it breaks off, and these run independently. So this is configured right now with Arden Mesh. That's the mesh I'm using here. It's called Arden Mesh, and you need a ham radio license to legally be an operator of this. So it's really nifty. So I'm going to make a video of that showing you. It is very interesting to show you that what I'm doing has some very interesting aspects to this. Because if the grid is down and there's no power, it's amazing that you can still have some sort of communications using your phone, your laptop, and you can talk to somebody and pass files and email and whatever in this secondary network. It's not your internet. There won't be any Facebook on it. Maybe I can make a Facebook app just for this. Maybe I can run a version of Bytes, Brax.me just on this to say that, don't interfere with other frequency. What the zuck are you talking about? This works on a ham radio frequency, not the Wi-Fi frequency, ham radio frequency. That's why you need a license. It operates on channels that are not available to people without a license. So this is in a sense, you use this to say, I participate in the emergency network in my community, and then you can have fun with experimentation, because it's really only just 80 some bucks and you're up and running, and then buy the PVC pipe or put it up in a pole or hang it on the ceiling or at long distance. No, no, no. This does not go anywhere in the world, Rich. It's me. This talks to another station that has one of these. So you can connect. Let's say you're in a city. Think about a prepper case. Okay, let's talk about actual preppers, because I think this is extremely valuable to real preppers. Let's say you have a prepper community. So you have a community of people, or maybe relatives. So you have relatives in town, and you're all prepper like, and you want to say, well, I want to be able to connect in a local area network. Uh, uh, yes, it broadcasts only on ham frequencies. Yes, if you use the ham software. uh, you can actually prearrange that your friends and families have these, and then you have your own internet. And it doesn't matter if the internet is down, the power is down, you can still communicate on this with your existing devices. It's just normal internet. So yes, you won't get you won't get your normal websites, but you can have websites that are specific to this. My brother in seat. What does that mean, Rich? So I'm gonna have now. I can connect here to an existing network. There's already people here in LA. There's hundreds and hundreds of these in the Los Angeles area. So I can connect with Southern California with this. But I'm not in a good range right now. And I'm one of the areas that has a hole. They actually need one of these around here, because this area where I am in has a hole. There are not. No, it doesn't need a single booster. The reason is because you're a ham operator, you can safely power this up to 20 watts. If you don't have a ham license, you can't. Your unlicensed band, FCC only allows 1 watt. Okay, so the one in your home is only 1 watt. This can go 20 watts. See the difference there? And this has a MIMO antenna too. So the one you have in your house will never go beyond 100 feet. You can serve a bunch of survival PDF documents on one of these. So if you put one on the roof, then you can have internet. No, you have to connect with other people to have the same device. Mitchell, hello Mitchell. Seattle with his 50 cal, and I can connect him from Seattle to Massachusetts. No, you connect to networks of people with this. So I can connect to everyone here. There's hundreds and hundreds of these around here. And I can connect to them, and if the grid is down, I have hundreds of people to talk to. There'll be, hundreds of services and hundreds of websites, emergency communications that you can access on a computer, because you have your own private network that's not tied to the internet. This is like a layer of an internet over the internet. This is not connected to the internet. You can connect it to the internet, but you have to assume that when the grid is down that you're not. So I'm gonna set it up standalone, and but it's kind of fun, because if you do not need to connect this to anyone else. You can connect this just to your own family. You can connect to just your own family. You want to say, okay, I want to. My brother's 20 miles away and my sister's 30 miles away. Can I communicate with this? Yes. So put this up on the roof or somewhere, and you can all communicate with this directly. And if you just have a way of powering this with 12 volts, then yeah, it's just another thing. Again, my point here is I'm showing you all these little hobbies, which are, consider them hobbies for now. I'm not being a hardcore prepper, but the fact of the matter is, these little hobbies are actually prepper tools that are serious prepper tools. They're really serious. They actually have some really practical purposes, but it's kind of nice to know that you can do this and say, I just want to have fun with it. So it doesn't cost that much to do. So I'm going to do this. So this is running now. I've just bought a second pair. I'm going to see, maybe mount it in such a way to see how far I can connect. 3,000 ways use a CB or UHF. 3,000 miles away does not work with CB or UHF. You need this for 3,000 miles away. Okay, let me repeat again what we're talking about. This is important to know for you, interested in a hobby. Okay, these kinds of radios, and let me just again be clear. These are called blister pack radios or FRS. These are FRS radios. You find them at Walmart. You don't need a license. You buy them for, $50 and for a pair. Sometimes more than a pair. Sometimes they sell you for, $60 for four of them. And these things will say, okay, everyone in your family can have one. These don't have much range. I don't know. I wouldn't say these have any value in an emergency case. They're just used for little kids to talk walkie-talkie style. Other than that, they're not really useful. Okay, they're walkie-talkie for kids. Okay, how useful is it if you go a couple of blocks and then that's it? That's the range of these, a couple of blocks. So if I'm going to use it for a couple of blocks, and I mean only kids can use this. So this, I've had this for 10 years. Junk. Okay, this is junk. You don't need this. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. Don't do this. This does not need a license. These are FRS radios. Waste of energy. Okay. Here I have a VHF radio. Now this can go very far over water. So you don't need a license for a VHF radio if you are in marine over water. So I have many VHF radios, and I use this quite a bit. And I have many radio. I've been doing marine radio for 20 years and or more, and this is line of sight. So if you have a tall mast like I do, you can probably connect 20, 30 miles, and these can probably line of sight no more than 4 miles. In a good day, you may reach 10. But I'm going to say in actual use, walkie-talkie to walkie-talkie, 4 miles. Walkie-talkie to a tall mast or to a base station, 20 miles. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, so this is for water use. These are the ones that I recommend people to do. Get these kinds of radios. These are UHF, VHF radios. They require a license. You need a technician ham license for use of this, which is the first test that you do for ham radio. These are more expensive. These are $62 a piece, but in general, you can find a radio for as little as $25, $30. That's very good analog radio already. So the $25 ones are very good. They're from Baofeng. These are Baofeng as well. They're very good. And for analog, the expensive ones are digital, and you don't really need most of that. For safety, let me just tell you why these are good. Let me tell you why these are good. Because these are licensed bands. This is a licensed band. This can actually reach pretty much all the frequencies that you'd ever care about in UHF and VHF. Let me just tell you examples. This reaches the most popular band for ham radio, which is the 70 centimeter band, so which is around 445 megahertz. So around there, there's a lot of activity on that, and you can listen to them and participate in that band. Now, because that's a ham radio band, there's a lot of repeaters. In my area, there's a lot of repeaters in the 440 range to 450. There's a lot of repeaters, and they're up in the mountains, and they have battery backup, and they can. I can talk to people on this radio about 100 miles away, typically. Maybe up to 200. I even talk to people on, because they pass the repeaters through the internet. You can talk to people everywhere, Arizona, Northern California. But if the internet is down, that's probably not going to work. So the actual range for this, I'm going to guess, is around, 100-mile radius from the repeater. That's about 200 miles from the furthest distance. So that's pretty good for an emergency. 200 miles, nice to know that you can use this. Okay, and the only thing you need with these is a ham license. How do you know how many repeaters you have? You program the repeaters in. You get it. You go to the internet, figure out what the repeaters are. You program it in. So I programmed my repeaters in here. I think I programmed like 30 or so repeaters. Then on top of those repeaters, I have GMRS frequencies. Now, what is GMRS? GMRS is another license band that has its own set of repeaters. GMRS is licensed without a test. So I also have a GMRS license. So I have two licenses. I have a ham license, general license, and then I have a GMRS license. GMRS, any one of you can get it, and it just pay the amount, and that's it. GMRS does not require anything other than pay the Zaki money, and then you can use powerful radios like this with GMRS, but it's kind of illegal in a sense to use these because this can access bands that you're not licensed for. So typically only ham radio operators are entitled to use any device, including this, because we are trusted to not cause interference in a frequency for which we know it doesn't fit. So if you want to be legalistic about it, you really should get a ham license. But a GMRS license is for the family, not just one individual. There's no test. Pay the $70, and for 10 years you get a GMRS license. A GMRS license with the repeater can go as far as a ham radio. However, Starlight, GMRS repeaters are few and far between where I am, and that means if it's few and far between here, it must be few and far between in New York. There's only like 2 active repeaters in GMRS. They're like, I can't even count the number of repeaters around me. There's almost no place here as a whole. You can drive around for 100 miles and there'll be tons of repeaters around the area, and they're very strong. So the ham license gets you more repeaters. GMRS is not as reliable, but it licenses you to use a stronger signal. And for that reason, it's a good one to start with. You can get one of these, get a GMRS license. You do not have to, people don't really follow too many rules with GMRS. I remember as a kid I had a CB, so you can consider a GMRS like a CB. Because there's not a lot of rules with it. It's kind of, they're not as respectful as they are on ham radio. Ham radio is not like CB, it's more formal. We talk in a very formal way on ham radio, although you don't go on VHF. I can just see Lenny going on VHF and say, CQ, CQ. We don't do CQ, CQ on this, okay? Because everyone knows what repeater you're on. Don't waste time in a conversation with CQ. Just announce your call sign and talk. K6 LPR. That's all you have to say. K6 LPR, Lenny. I heard stuff when I was a kid. I had CB radio when I was like driving around the country a lot. I had CB radio back in those days, so I did have that. This is a different kind. Okay, now this requires a lot of technical expertise to run, but it's a very fantastic hobby. This requires a lot of technical expertise. You can't just plug this in and expect, this is easy, Program the frequencies in and you're talking. I don't know what you're asking, Rich. This one is a lot more sophisticated because you need to know a lot of electronics, antennas, and so on. So this is a bit of a struggle, but the nice thing about this is this has thousands of miles of range. This talks by skip propagation. Your signals skip through the ionosphere up and down in 2,500 mile increments. So the first skip alone is 2,500 miles. So one skip and you're already talking to the East Coast, and a couple more skips and you're talking to Europe, or couple more skips the other direction, you're talking to Australia. You don't have to and want to see what the app you were telling us about. What? Now you can get it easier. It's not an app. Just the ARRL is what I'm talking about. Morse code actually is not necessary. Morse code is so necessary. Let me rephrase that. Lenny PR. Morse code is very necessary. You don't need to know Morse code to get a license, but let me just tell you, Morse code is important to learn, especially in an emergency, because this device is only 5 watts. In an emergency, this kind of device will be very important, but I can't do voice on 5 watts. It's not going to go very far. But 5 watts should be able to go cross country on Morse code, no problem. Okay? Morse code's not a problem. But I don't know if you know this, but there are apps that translate Morse code. I have a little app in the background running. As I'm listening to Morse code, it translates the text, and I don't have to worry about it. If I need to transmit, I type it, and then another app will transmit the Morse code for me and send it. I just have to put it in a Raspberry Pi so it's portable and doesn't use up a lot of battery. I can already do this on a computer. But what I'm trying to do, it's one of the things that one of my projects for a video, is to put that on a Raspberry Pi so we don't need a lot of power. So a full computer is not useful when the power is down. A full computer is not going to be useful. What was the question? Is that the X105? Yes, Justin, this is the X5105. Yes. Yes, this is the X5105. So you can text using Morse code. Yes, Starlight. Morse code is slow, but it'll get there. Yeah, you just type your text, say, help, save us. We're in paradise and we're burning, and help us. And you type it out. If you have a little kit that can type it out, if you can use voice, if they're only a few miles away, then you can use this, which will be in paradise. But if you're further away and you want to talk to, let's say all of California, got moved out to the sea because of an earthquake, this can talk to the rest of the world. You can talk to Europe with this, even on 5 watts, as long as you're using Morse code. On voice, you're not going to be heard. 5 watts is not going to be heard on voice, but it's going to be heard on digital modes. So I'm going to show you by Rob in the SOS. So yes, so I'm going to show you, everything about my experience with this, and I'm going to show you all my struggles. My first struggle, and that's going to be the first video, is showing you that my dipole antenna using this is not working. So I have a dipole. I set up a dipole. It's an inverted dipole, and it's not working. I'm gonna gonna see if I can fix it. But right now, so I'm gonna record what it is now, make my changes, and see what I get to make it work, and then hopefully that'll be experience for some other people to go test out. The problem is, for those of you who live in New York City, you're probably not going to be able to put up a dipole. So that's probably not practical. So, but this requires a general license anyway. So this is the much higher class license. Cool. Just play with it. People will follow or buy it. Yeah, I will. People are following. They are excited about what I'm doing, and I don't know why, but they are. Like, this is very exciting. When you see this actually running, it's so cool to see me doing an internet on my own with this, especially when I have 2 of them. So I'm going to make the I've already run one, so now it's already running. It took me only, I don't know, an hour to set it up. I'm going to set up 2, and then it makes sense. When I have 2 of these, then you actually see an operation, Did that guy just say inverted typo? What? Inverted what? Dipole. Not typo. Dipole. Dipole, not inverted typo. So a dipole is a antenna that's a basic antenna that you can set up in your house. And to start with, it's 66 feet, kind of like Jimmy 666. So a 66-foot antenna. So it's not easy to set up a 66-foot antenna 30 feet off the ground, which is kind of what you need. 33 feet off the ground. So can you imagine the difficulty in setting up a 66-foot antenna 33 feet off the ground? It's a challenge. If you live in a city, it's a challenge. And and I happen to. I'm looking at my backyard, and my backyard has all these transmission lines. I mean, the electric power lines. Can Yagi? Yes, of course, Yagi can work with him. Been here from day one. It's a tough job. Jimmy has a half wave inverted V. Thanks. Jimmy has a half wave inverted V. And what's the angle on your inverted V, Jimmy? And how many feet off the ground are the feed point, and how much feet off the ground are the ends, and what's your angle? You're 33 feet at the feed point. What's your angle at the? What's your height off the ground at the ends? That's pretty hard to do, to do 33 feet. I'm going to show you my solution to get 33 feet off the ground here. I think I'm only at 30 feet off the ground. I cannot say more than Bites being best 5 stars. Thank you, riches me. So my dipole, Jimmy, is like this. It didn't work, but this is the way it's set up. My inverted dipole is like that. It's tilted though, like this. Because it's in my balcony, and then it tilted. So if you can see the angle there. And I guess, I don't know, does the tilt affect the impedance? I don't know. It's kind of like that. Does the tilt affect impedance? The SWR is really awful. The center feed point is, I don't know, 28 feet off the ground. For RCB, we put a huge antenna on the roof. It has to be 15 foot. 20 feet in height. There's a circle antenna kind of loop one is effective for reduced spaces. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend money on NPR, so I said I'm going to try a dipole. I'm going to try a standard dipole. So I'm going to show you the experience with that, and see how you guys react to it. The tilt can make it a little directional. Yeah, but you already have inverted, Jimmy. You already inverted, so the direction already at the ends. So the direction's already here. So, you angle it here or there. What's happening when the direction is here? So the question is the SWR. Why is that? I'm trying to do NVIS anyway, so it doesn't matter. My intent is NVIS. So NVIS, I don't really care that it's directional to the sky. That's okay. My question is, why is the SWR bad? So, is my ends not high enough? I don't know. I got to go figure it out. Because my terrain here is not the usual. So, I have an auto ATU. Well, I have this, and this one has an auto tuner on it too. But you got to, if it's bad SWR, what auto tuning, it's not going to make it perform. I still can't hear anything. And there's a lot of I'm in the city, so there's a lot of interference. There's a lot of QRM. So I don't know. There's a lot of discovery I got to do here, being in a city. A lot of things I got to figure out being in a city, because if you're going to do this for emergencies, what do you have to deal with? And I'm going to do that discovery with you. I'm not going to act like I know anything. I don't. We're going to go try it out, experiment, and then see how we can make it work. I don't need any help on the computer stuff. I'm a computer expert. I can hack anything you want me to hack. I can do all that. But when it comes to this, we're learning it using my skills and technique for learning computers. We're going to apply it to ham radio. So we're gonna go figure it out. So my first project this weekend is to see if I can figure out what's wrong with the what's wrong with the dipole. Now, this is the alternate antenna. So look at this. So you can mount the antenna directly on this. Now, this is theoretical now. Let me just, so you do that. Okay, so that's about 5 feet high now. That's a 5-foot antenna, okay? And in theory, you can use it like this. Okay, that's a theory. However, that's only theory because you need to drag like a counterpoise with it. You have to drag a counterpoise behind you as you're walking around it with this, and the counterpoise has to be adjusted in length depending on what band you're on. It's kind of a pain, so it hasn't worked either, and there's a lot of QRM or interference. So I'm going to try this at the beach. I'm going to see if I get better results away from the city. Yeah. And see this, Jimmy? This is the band selector for the coils. Do they have, this is for the 40 meter. $30 meter, 18, 15, 10, whatever. Then you got to drag a counterpoise behind it. So there's a lot I have to learn. You don't need a counterpoise with the dipole. So I have a lot of theory. I've learned a lot of theory from getting my general license, but practicality wise, that will come. Yep. I have a general license, and I don't know how it works in real life, but I constructed a. Are you planning to put that on your Mercedes-Benz? I'm listening to 40 meter just now. Where are you located, Jimmy? Is the band open on 40 where you are? So it's my antenna, because where I am, it's just really a lot of QRM on 40. So where are you located? I just want to compare notes here. Because they always say 40 is pretty good, it has good signals, but it's not working for me. So I know it's the antenna. You're in Scotland. You got a lot of open space in Scotland. That's pretty cool, Jimmy. Maybe I'll CW in Scotland. This is only 5 watts. So it's not going to get to Scotland on voice. But maybe I'll CW you in Scotland with this. We'll do CW. CW is Morse code. CW is carrier wave, which is Morse code. So we'll do that. So it's a pretty cool device and inexpensive to begin with. Confirmed inclination of radials affects VSWR and impedance. Currently listening to Germany talking to North America. Confirmed inclination of radials affects VSWR. Do you know what that means? LG night? Is that LG night? Radials are for vertical antennas. They have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And it's kind of like redundant when you say affects VSWR impedance. Well, SWR is impedance. SWR is an impedance comparison, and VSWR is voltage. So, the VSWR applies to voltage, which is at the ends of the antenna, and the feed point is just SWR, because it's more current in the feed point. So I learned all this from General. I know all that. I have a lot of theoretical information. I saw a video where many Swiss are prepping in fear of war with Russia. They're preppers in Switzerland. Did you test your reflection transmission? It's a dipole, Justin. It's a standard dipole. It's a standard dipole inverted V. So you shouldn't have to consider that if it's 30 feet, and it's close to 30 feet off the ground. It's probably 20 28 feet. So when you have all that, you don't, and if even if they're reflections, they're ground wave reflections, which will be uh, uh, propagating to the sky in NVIS. Don't put the end of the time mount when transmitting. How many volts is going to be? Yeah, I know this is only 5 watts, but you can burn somebody with the ends of an antenna. Yeah. Yep. Uh, there you go, Starlight. We'll do a test. You hold the end of a dipole antenna, and maybe maybe I have a 160-meter antenna that's 80 meters long, and then you just for fun hold on to the end of it, and then I transmit. I'll see what happens. We'll see if you enjoy that. We'll test the voltage. We'll test the voltage. Jimmy's testing me. He's testing my knowledge. Heck, I passed my general, so, 80 meters is just a half wave. So how the zuck do you have an 80 zucking meter antenna? I don't know. You have to have like that's impossible in big cities like this. You'd have to be like Barbara Streisand or somebody with a lot of land to do 80 zucking meters. Zuck. That's how many millions, how many tens of millions for that kind of house? Tens of millions. Please continue. You are doing great. Thank you, Jimmy. And WPLJ went off the airways today. I'm sure they have big antenna for sale now. Who's WPLJ? Who's WPLJ? That sounds like a radio station. So I have so many things going on. So I'm testing the mesh, the ham mesh. I'm testing the antenna dipole. I'm testing the portable. So yeah, so all of those, Simon. That's got it. I'm testing all those all at the same time. So the first test is to get my dipole working. So fortunately, and this is a intentional choice, I got a radio that can actually map where the antenna is resonant or not. It will actually map it for me. And I got this resonant. This one, I got the SWR down with this, and still I don't hear anything. So I think I'm in a bad area here as far as interference. So, city noise. So I have to see if I can move to a quieter area and test it out. It's portable, so I can do that. So maybe I'll go next to the beach or be on the beach and then try it out there and do a video from there and say, okay, we're going to try this from the beach and see what happens. And then later on, guys, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to assemble a portable dipole with I'm going to show you what I did to create a mast for my dipole. Because I did a little trick here. I used a painter's pole. I don't know if you know this, but a painter's pole goes up to 25 feet. 25 feet on a painter's pole. So I got myself a 25-foot mast. I don't have it all the way up here, but I can go 30 feet plus easily at my house just with the painter's pole. So and then you buy some attachments and you put PVC at the ends and so on. So I'm going to be, if I get that running, what I'm going to do is have that at a remote location, maybe a park, maybe a beach, and then do a video from there to show you how it works. And then, if you're on the run, like McAfee, John McAfee's always on the run. This is something that interesting. We'll act like John McAfee being chased around the world, and then how about your mainsail? How tall is that? And will you hook antenna there? Uh, yeah, but you have to. It's diagonal, so that doesn't work too well. Starlight, it's diagonal. My mast on my boat is 55 feet high. Yeah, my boat is 55 feet high, but there's a lot of metal, and if you attach it, uh, how will it? That's another place I can experiment. Yeah, I'd like to try it on a boat. Yeah, I can hoist it up. Yeah, let's see what happens when you hoist it up 25 feet high. Yeah, be excellent thing to test. I just have a lot of metal on the boat though. Yeah, but it just let's say you're stuck on the boat and you don't want to use marine, and you say, can you test it here? Do talk to somebody in Scotland from the boat. Water is a good reflector, so it actually might perform pretty well. So we're gonna try that and see what works. It's gonna be exciting stuff. So anyway, because of what I'm doing here, like I said, yeah, I do Starlight, but I don't. I'm not really. I'm not planning on going anywhere. I want to be. I actually want to be. More of a stay put, defending. Defensive mode. I don't want to be running around. I want to be in defense. The boat is like last resort. I'd rather have a defensive kind of environment. So at least that's my plan for the videos. I mean, any opinions on my Megan's getting over a Triborough Bridge? Get some kayaks. Get some kayaks, Starlight. You might tip over, but get an inflatable, Starlight. I mean, inflatable is easy. You can put an inflatable, pump up some air into it, and then go across the cross the bay, no problem. I mean, I can do that. A inflatable would fit in my trunk, no problem. I have an inflatable, so I have a what do you call this? A outboard inflatable. Yep. When I had my boat in World Fair Marina, I could go up to Hudson, but gas is limited. All you need is wind. Well, don't worry about that. You just across the Great Canyon with an inflatable doll. Angel Service. No, I have a inflatable boat that's let's see, it's over 8 feet. I'm guessing. Yeah, it's probably like 9 feet long, and then I have an outboard, so I can put around and get places without needing the big boat. So there's a way to get around. So if I'm lazy, or if there's traffic problems or whatever, there's a way to get around. So I'm very near the ocean. Yes, Angel Service. Nobody. Yes, inflatable boats are pretty unsinkable. Ariel, good to see you too. So Nick Dev, what yacht club? Is that a yacht club? I asked this earlier. In the event of a nuclear event, would they even warn us? I don't know. We probably would have other things to worry about, right? And then you wouldn't be thinking about Bitcoin. Hugs from Argentina. Ariel, thank you from Argentina. My goodness, I'm so happy that I reached Argentina. That's pretty amazing. I don't know, Starlight. If the time comes, all of this will be useless. But in the meantime, let's have fun. Okay? Let's. What I'm doing is just fun gadgets, and it's expensive. I spent all this money on this. I just have to be able to get a head start to get up. Say, what's the purpose of that, Starlight? Because you're gonna go with a car, and the car is gonna run out of gas, and what's gonna happen? I don't know. That's not much of a bug out plan. That's not much of a bug out plan. You're going to compete with millions of people on the freeway, and they're going to block the freeway. You're just going to be stuck there. So, uh, radiation is a killer, I hear. Of course, radiation is a killer, but, you know, uh, mostly you think about EMP. They don't need to. You think that you're gonna, blast everyone with a nuclear blast, and you don't even have to do that. All you need is one EMP, and that's it. Wipe out the rest of the country with one EMP, and then let everyone kill each other. Um, yeah, if you want a head start, live upstate. Have you discussed? Yes, I did. Nick Dev YC, and somebody said I should pronounce it Huawei. So I have a bottle of Louis 13 saving for a rainy day. So yes, I discussed Huawei last week, and that was the title. Yeah. So that was my video last week, and just to show you how I handled that, I bought Chinese radios. This is a Chinese radio, Xiegu, from China, and then I get a Baofeng from China. Uh, there you go. I really don't think they're going to be able to put spy stuff on a HF transmitter, because you can see what it's doing. So, and you can hear it's analog. So you can't really mess with it. So I don't think they can put any kind of spy stuff in here. Okay? So as long as it's not network. This modem, I don't think this is made in China. I don't know where this is made, but you never know. Maybe it is made in China. So I don't know. I just buy whatever is cheap. I just buy what is cheap. Now, what I would buy, like network stuff from China, that's another question. Starlight EMP is the best choice. Because who's the infrastructure for? So, the U.S. is the one with a neutron bomb. So we're not going to use it against ourselves. So the enemy will use an EMP device because it's cheapest. So a small country could send as an EMP. I know in high school the threat was serious with a whole no nukes. Yeah, that's, I don't know. We don't really have to think. I wonder if products in China say made in China on them. That's a good question, Nick. That's a good question. Maybe they have a special designator. They showed us videos that to this day still stands out in my memory. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Yeah, that was very funny. Why don't they have high school drills? What are you gonna? What is the high school drill for a EMP attack? What do you think the drill is? If there's an EMP, that's what you need for an EMP. What else do you need to know? Do you need to hide underground with an EMP? No. I need to make an EMP video to explain EMPs more, because again, I did a live broadcast, and many didn't really get much of that. But an EMP will likely not kill your cell phone. Okay, what's your EMP? An EMP will not likely kill your cell phones. It probably won't kill things like this. Okay, it will kill anything that's connected to a long wire. So anything that's connected to house wiring, external wiring, anything that has a long wire will be a problem with an EMP. Cars may survive because they don't necessarily have a long wire. So, yeah, I don't know. Cars may survive a EMP. This is not 100% clear. A lot of the theory is theoretical because they're not actually thinking about the science of it, what actually causes the EMP to create those high voltages, and what it is called induction. And we're actually talking about very long magnetic waves, like mile wavelength. Faraway cage, Faraday cage for radios. You don't need, because again, they don't have. This is resonant at what? 440 megahertz. This is not going to be resonant at 1 megahertz or under. And a EMP is going to be probably sub 1 megahertz wavelength. So how is that? It's not going to get resonant. So you know how it is with resonance, Jimmy. Without resonance, this doesn't react. It doesn't build up a voltage. In order for it to build up a voltage, there has to be, resonance in a long wire. So I'm thinking that experts have looked. I read an actual book, and your eyes are closing. Did you know any good jokes? No, but go close your eyes because I'll end this soon. So resonance on EMP is dependent on if the wire can accept the magnetism that will generate the voltage. So if the high voltage comes into your house, then semiconductors have a tiny little space between, and that'll spark. The spark will kill the device. There's a kid on Periscope who follows the LA car chases and making this one announcer famous. Yeah, so he's illegally retransmitting from our local stations in here. He's illegally retransmitting. He's retransmitting a broadcast channel, which is quite illegal. So he can't really do that. So I wonder why, why he hasn't been banned, because that's not legal to rebroadcast. Why have those stations like, Channel 9, Channel 5, and the ones that do this, how come they haven't said take it down? So anyway, that's illegal. You can't retransmit that. So I was watching a Purpose TV series, and they all had Faraday cages for their comms. Yes, but that's too theoretical, Jimmy. I'm just telling you that as long as it's not plugged in physically, an actual expert, somebody who's an actual engineer, and who actually understands, and a radio expert, a ham radio expert, actually researched it, and understood that I believe you can only get high frequency magnetic radiation if you're close to the explosion, which is 300 miles up in the sky. So it's not likely. So if it's 300 miles in the sky in the Midwest, which is where they would blow an EMP effectively to blank out the entire country, the magnetic waves would flow from the Midwest, from the sky down to Earth in these long frequencies, and then the resonance will come from the power lines. The power lines will blow up the grid because it will reverse the voltages and reverse the transformers. So that's not going to happen on a device that's resonant to 400 megahertz. So in theory, you may want to protect it, but probably even just a simple thing with a metal thing on it is probably enough. You probably don't need to do anything fancy. It will likely survive. That's what the guy said. It will likely survive, and that the problem might be, the cell towers will not survive. Yeah, so this, Jimmy, the problem is, since many people don't know, they actually just say, well, let's put everything in a Faraday bag, and then let's make this garbage can, storage for electronic devices. But you can't use the device in everyday life if you put it in a garbage can. So it doesn't make any sense. So I was thinking about that, and they even said, how do you protect like things like this that are connected to an antenna? The antenna is the problem. The antenna will blow up the HF transceivers because if it's plugged into the antenna will have a high voltage and ruin these. Do you have Netflix in Scotland, Jimmy? Or are you getting like US Netflix? Do you have Netflix in? So I did research on this, guys. I mean, I'm not just stating this because I'm acting like some sort of expert. I actually read a very good book explaining EMP because I wanted to explain it to you guys. So I actually read up on it so I can communicate in a clear way what actually happens, and my knowledge of radio helped because it's the big problem with EMP is that the impulse from the explosion will move the magnetic fields of Earth away, and then it will come back. It will take 30 seconds to come back. When the magnetic waves are in motion, what happens when magnetic waves are in motion? It generates electricity. This is, called induction. So that's how a generator works. So if magnetic waves of the Earth are moving because it was, rattled by the nuclear explosion, the magnetic waves, when they move back, which is the main problem here, I think this is called phase 3. The phase 3 is when and this is the longest phase, is when the magnetic wave starts to move. And when you move any kind of magnetic wave over a wire, it generates power. That's the real problem with an EMP. What? What the fuck are you talking about? Did I wake you up, 22? So, again, to E3. So to repeat that again, what can you tell me about Orbi or the mesh Wi-Fi network? Tony, I already made a Wi-Fi mesh. I'm gonna make videos on these. I got it running today. Okay, I got the mesh running. I have one. I'm gonna get a second one, so I get two running. I'm gonna mount them on I'm going to mount them on PVC pipes, put one several miles away, and do a test and make a video. In an Army field manual, they call the inverted dipole that is sloped a sloping V. It's directional. That is correct, LG Knight. The ends of the V is directional. Please tell us what is mesh. You said, explain, like you actually know what mesh is, and then you talk like you know what mesh is, and then you say, explain mesh. I'll explain in a different video. I'll show you it's running. Okay? There's a lot of videos I have to make here. I mean, in the short run, I can already see 10 of them. So which means I will not be doing a lot of these live broadcasts. Okay? I will not be doing a lot of the live streams. I'm going to cut down. I'm going to cut down the live streams. I'm going to be making a lot of videos. So just FYI, less live streams. And, so don't expect too much of the live streams. Is the mesh the same as Xfinity spots around how? No, Tony, they're not. Go to Aerial Field Day in a park near you. Lots of hams playing. Rebecca, really? See, I don't really do... I don't really join clubs. I'm more about being an experimenter. So I don't belong to any kind of ham club. But actually, I have a club. I belong to a club I belong to a yacht club, to be honest, okay? Where you find my videos right there, Rob Braxman Tech on YouTube. Jimmy, please subscribe to my account, Rob Braxman Tech on YouTube. I found out that my club, my yacht club, has 120 ham radio operators in the club. No, mesh does not use the internet. My mesh does not. Yeah, I mean, you can have a mesh that's just Wi-Fi routers. Yes, my club has 120 ham. I said, "What are you guys doing nowadays?" He said, "Nothing. They're not too active anymore." Uh, Yet they all 120 of them have a license. It's like, Doug, I was talking to them. It's like, you don't know what you're doing. So what I'm going to do is install the mesh at the yacht club because they have a tall mast. They do have a ham station there, and they have ham antennas and all that. They have they have a club call sign, and yeah, yeah. How much does a fancy sweater cost that you're wearing? Yeah, club. You're lucky I can watch your YouTube videos. Anyway, I'm going to. I'm going to put a demo first. When they see it running, then I'm going to install it the yacht club. And yes, sailor Jimmy. So I'm a sailor. I've sailing. I used to do sailing scopes. I'm going to put that at the yacht club and then demonstrate, a connection from the yacht club to my house, and portable. No, it's not a Ralph Lauren sweater. Does the yacht club have their own ham license? Yes, they do. Et Buck. They have their own club license. I recorded my last sailing at a video. I'm going to make a video, but I haven't been scoping it. Again, it's not too productive to be scoping it. I mean, it's for all the time consumed. I got to make sure there's value. So, anyway, all those, sure. Okay, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please show me that my live streams are worth it. If I'm not getting followers from live streams, then obviously it's not worth it, and I'm gonna just stop doing the live streams because they're not that useful, and I can put my energy into the videos. So at the moment, I don't know if I'm gonna do a live stream after today this week because I got so many videos to do. We'll see. I'll see where we are, but I have so many videos to do, so I may just crank out those videos. Okay, I'm gonna be. You should be excited. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna show you lots of videos, and then we have, a day or two where we can kind of hang. How Tony? I don't know. Maybe you're older than me. This is the first scope I've seen with you, Jimmy. Thank you. So, did you subscribe to my YouTube account? So I may not do a lot of these broadcast live stream as I used to. I used to do 4 a week, and it's a little bit much. So I want to concentrate on actually building this, and this takes up a whole day. Okay, so making a video plus the research. So if you're a ham operator, you're gonna enjoy my struggle here. Maybe you can help me because you will be feeling like teaching me and say your sucking dipole is screwed up. Thank you, Jimmy. So, you enjoy the videos too. I helped build the ark, yes. So, yeah, I've gotten. I have like a steady increase in subscribers just from the YouTube videos, and so I don't really get many viewers on the live stream now, and not that I'm expecting it. I'm not really. Thank you, Jimmy. So just an occasional broadcast is probably good enough. Due to tech. Who's that? Due to tech. You made my night go by so quickly. Thank you, Starlight. Appreciate it. How come you're not working today, Starlight? How can you get away with not working on a Friday? That's usually your busy time here. So this is awesome, guys. So I will be busy tomorrow setting up the dipoles and doing a lot of things, and if I can come up with 4 videos a week. I have 3 videos this week. It's a lot. That's a lot. Steve Dotto. I can do karaoke show in your sleep. You have special headphones to listen to the scope. Anyway, thank you, my friends, and I just watching me on YouTube, and we'll see. Let's see where the next broadcast is. I'm not certain. I'll be back next Friday for sure. I wear a headset, and they think I'm DJing. Can I buy one of your sweat? Yes, go to Brooks Brothers and buy one. Brooks Brothers. Come on, you all should know that. You know that 90% of my attire comes from Brooks Brothers. Used. Okay, guys. Good night. Good night. How about one? Yes, there will be one or two live streams a week, Tequila. One or two, but there'll be a lot of videos. Okay? One or two. Waxman only does one a month. So one or two live streams and then lots of videos. We'll just switch to. I want to do live streams. It's important, so I get feedback, but more focused on videos. Thank you, Starlight. Appreciate it. And I forgot to tell you what ARL book. Forget terminating resistors. That's a lossy antenna, LG Knight. Terminating resistors. Okay. Good night.